goodness, yes. Because, first of all, the medications are not the total answer. I'll have people who come in originally and saying, well, I don't have to worry about it this much because my doctor gave me a statin and that's going to solve the problem. When they realize 6 months to a year later that the statin has not solved the problem, then they're coming back, okay, now I have to do something. So, and there are so many people out there that do not want to take meds because, as we have cited in our research over and over again, one day something looks like the panacea, the next day people are getting serious reactions to meds, and so if they don't do preventive work, they don't have any other option. And so many people, which is what has changed in a very positive way. I remember when my in-laws, were in their 50s, and even my own family, it was like, you're sick, you take a pill, except my grandmother, who refused to take any. And so today, a lot of those older people still believe that, but the younger generation and the baby boomers say, look, I want to do it my way. I want to decide whether to take the med or not, and I want to do everything I can optimally, preventively, so that I need to take the least amount of medication for the shortest period of time.
For them.
The cravings, the cravings, the cravings. The two biggest cravings are for sugar and grain, and especially wheat. And even the top obesity experts have said that for the first month on a plan, if people are craving, the best thing they can do to get rid of those cravings is to stop eating those things 100%. It's like any addiction. And I have clients who have had addictions to alcohol, addictions to meds. They will tell you that the sugar addiction is as difficult to get rid of because there's a serotonin, a feel-good feeling from the sugar. And unless you find other alternatives, it's very difficult. And the other problem with the sugar, it's socially acceptable. You know, a med addiction, alcohol addiction is not socially acceptable. So it's very difficult. So we've worked very hard trying to find more and more tools to deal with that particular addictive type behavior. Well, I mean, too expensive, I would say it's the best bargain they're ever getting. And instead of, getting an expensive new ring or a new car for their birthday or for an anniversary, preventive health is the best thing you can do. But the person has to want to come in. They can't be forced by a family member. They can't be forced because they're feeling guilty about not doing something. They have to do it at the time that they're ready to do it and they want to do it. The main reason is because people are very, very motivated and they feel that this is money well spent. The other thing that I would say is what I do is vastly, vastly different than what most dietitians do. And I know this because I was on the state licensing board for 6 years. What I do is more like a total body balance. And I would say in this country, there are only about 6 practitioners that I know of that do what I do. And so people will say, okay, well, you've been to someone else before. They're giving you the basics, which is very, very good. We're not denying that those things aren't helpful. But if the basics aren't enough, or your weight loss program, isn't enough, then you need to come in and see why your body's out of balance. And that's what I do that's vastly different. And that's why people are willing to come in. It's not the typical just nutrition.
And this is all basically done without any advertising, just word of mouth?
That's the other shocking thing. I think we're in some of the phone books, but I don't believe we've advertised in 15 years. So that's a very good good thing. And word of mouth and doctor's recommendations are always what we like to see. I don't like it if somebody just sees me in the phone book and comes in, because then they don't really understand exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
And the one thing I also will say is I get so many more physician referrals now. When I first started, doctors would say, well, I don't know, she sounds like a quack to me. And then they'd say, well, she doesn't seem to be hurting anybody. Then they'd say, well, I don't know what she does, but it seems to work. And now they're saying, you must go see Bonnie. So that's a very positive thing as well.